Yes, so welcome to my review of the Tangzu Waner SG. If I've probably just butchered that pronunciation, so I'm just going to call it the Tangzu for the rest of the video. This is a budget dynamic driver. And yeah, as usual, full disclaimers, I grabbed this off the Magic's audio store. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. And yeah, as usual, Tangzu do some really good artwork, as you can see. This is priced very affordably, and it does graph well, as I've actually been trying it. So yeah, let's just get into it. So really nice kind of packaging. KZ don't do anything like this, and they charge kind of the same, but it's good to see budget options pulling at least a bit of effort in. It's a single dynamic driver, in-ear monitors, Tangzu, which have done some nice models recently. So there's the specs and some things to scan. So 10mm DD, which is kind of normal, 20 ohm impedance, frequency range 20 to 20, which is more than enough. Oxygen free, 4 braid, so 4 core kind of cable, 1.2 meter cable, 0.782 pin, so kind of the normal kind of stuff. So cleaning cloth, it looks a little bit low res, I don't know if it shows on the camera, but it looks alright. So I bought the kind of white ones, it's like a smoky black kind of dark grey. There's the name, which I can't pronounce. Let's have a look. So yeah, very nice. Obviously it's the same connector as KZ's if you've already got a cable that fits them, so it's the same. Very clear shell, R and a vent, and that's it. You can see like this, the black there, so that may help with tuning, probably to do a small amount of dampening, so that's not too bad. Let's get these out. So accessories, so just be some tips. Let's get these out. So in the one bag you get tips fitted, as you can see, so it comes with those, if it focuses, so that comes with that type. There's the other ones it comes with, and these other ones I think are a bit more generic. Yeah, so things like that. So it comes with basically three different kinds of tips, which is pretty good. And the cable, as I've already opened this, I know it looks like it's kind of looks a bit like a generic KZ cable. So yeah, so it looks like kind of what KZ cables are. Same kind of connector, no branding on there, and that's pretty much it. Again, I've already been using these and I put some O's on them. They're already graphed and all that good stuff. So straight into the review. Yes, so welcome to my review section of the Tangzu. So like I said, this give you a look over. Single dynamic driver, 10mm, quite a thick DD. Apart from that, it's a very simplistic built well enough. So there's R, you can see it's in there. There's some sort of material for dampening, I presume. And that's it. So super simple, and that's the branding. It also comes in, I think, like a black or very dark grey smoked, which looks nice. So that's out of the way. So comfort and fit, I thought they was both fine. You can see there's a small curve. So but yeah, it seems alright. Comfort and the fit on this to me was, I think, perfectly fine. I don't see many other people having those issues. I was quite happy with it, to be honest. So pound sensitivity again was, because this is normal kind of, you can see on the back, like the box, the information. I had no issue driving this. I tried this with the J. Kelly AP90, my normal topping combo, and it worked fine with those. Nothing out of the ordinary, I guess. Single DDs typically are like that. It's either hybrids or BAs that can be a bit like funny, but yeah. So technical performance, again, I actually think it's actually really good for what these are. They seem to have used a good driver. and it sounds very, very clear for what they are. And same for the timbre. The timbre is pretty good. It's a little bit forward at the lower treble, but I'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, again, like, so far so good, to be honest. I don't have any issues with stuff like that. So stage and imaging was actually was again, like, okay. So again, like I said, so far so good. They cover a lot of bases well, and also stuff you'll see in a bit. So yeah, so to keep this short, straight onto the graph, which I'll show you now. So as you can see straight away, they do have really good driver matching. So the quality control on these, at least from my pair, and these are a retail pair because I bought them, is very good, as you can see. So low end, so start with the bass. The bass is very, very kind of a nice balance. There's enough there for it to have fun, but not too much to, well, I mean, like, not lean. It's not a bass head, like a bass monster like before this. I did the CCA CXS. Now that in comparison to this, that's really bassy. That suits some people, but I prefer a bit more control. Now this does it well for what I've tried, and I do listen to basically a variety of music. It has good enough slam. Obviously not for bass heads, but for what I tried, it was pretty good, to be honest. And it's very well done. You can see it's a very gradual rise. Yeah, seems fine. Obviously, I think people might like more bass. I think, to be a little bit picky, you may need a little bit more bass to kind of offset that presence region where it's elevated, but apart from that, it's fine. So mid-range is very, I'd say, transparent. You can see there's a very, very, very small bleed from the upper part of the bass to the lower mid-range. I like that. It makes stops sounding thin, but yet very clear. I'd say quite forward, as you can see towards the top. Not much to say really. Everything is where it should be really. I'm quite happy with it, considering this is under $20. I think they've done a nice job, especially, you know, bass and mid-range is quite good really. So just straight into the treble is, again, quite well done, apart from what I personally don't like, but this is just me, is you can see in the presence region, so 2.5K to 3, there's that kind of gradual peak. I prefer that a little bit smoother. It adds like a glare in a way to like music, like a sheen to it. It's hard to describe, but you probably know what I mean. Apart from that, if that dropped off a bit smoother, would be quite good. And obviously the 8K peak is just from the coupler, so that doesn't exist. And you can see it's a very, what's the best way to describe it? How it graphs, there's no any like really weird peaks or troughs. It's very consistently across, you know, if you know what I mean, across the frequency range. But I was quite happy with it. Instrument separation is good. Everything sounds very clear and transparent. They're fairly neutral, to be honest. Well, quite neutral, to be honest. And yeah, on the whole, these are very, very good. These probably graph a little bit better than they probably should do for what they are. Now, normally at this price range, you get big V shapes. Obviously, this isn't that, but yeah, it seems to suit quite like the genres of music I listen to. It suits quite a lot. It didn't suit like electronic. I prefer more low end for that, but on the whole, it does a good job. So, conclusion: do I recommend these? Yes, these are probably. I think they could have charged more for it, and they would have been perfectly fine. Great set. Again, to be really, really picky, I would like a little bit less, 2.5, 3K bit, if that was smoothed over a little bit more. Or to counteract that, you probably want a little bit more low end to kind of balance that kind of out. But great set, it does everything well, everything's clear. It's got good enough extension. It hasn't got amazing extension, but for single DD for the cost, yeah, it does well. The cable's okay to normal. It's kind of a KZ kind of cable that comes with it. which is fine. You get, you know, variety of tips, and there's no excess kind of crap that's in the box, like a case or a pouch that you don't use. And yeah, really, on the whole, not too bad at all. They do perform well. Again, another one of these kind of budget winners, which is what I do like to see. And yeah, not much to say really. On the whole, they're pretty good. Hard to fault really, like I've just said. And I think I'll probably end it there really. Good set. Not much to say. You know, they do a good job, and this is why single dynamic drivers are still well liked, because of this kind of tuning and stuff like that. But yeah, good set. So if you know anything particular, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care.